Dan Sullivan, talking to you about DOORCO, and you're just mentioning there about technology and how that will change things or is changing things. You were saying that you have loads of people or have had loads of people visiting the factory and how that's now changed. Can we just talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, the first change we've made this year is as a small business, we've now got a very large IT team. We've got 5 people now in the IT team, headed up by Ben Aspinall, and that's been a significant investment and growth area for DOORCO. We really believe in the way that the IT is going to take the business on to the next level, provide a higher level of service to the customers, but then allow us to kind of have the time to explore what new technology we can bring in, how we can smooth out the production process, how we can make the online ordering journey easier and quicker to use, and people have less changeover time. So if they are a new customer and they've been buying from a different source, is it easy to switch over to DOORCO? How easy can it be? What assistance can we add to that process to make the whole thing seamless? And so it takes a lot of cost out of the chain. It takes a lot of time and energy out of the chain, and we can add that value straight away. So it's been a big focus the last 12 months, obviously led by Ben, because I can't even send an email. So I'm useless, but Ben's headed that department up. He's recruited the team. He's got some fantastic people working for him now. And then because he's brought in different people with different skill sets, they're taking us on different journeys. So yeah, really excited about that, because already the advantages we've seen, the feedback from the customers is great, but already what we're seeing in here in terms of how efficient we can get is definitely had a lot of value. So yeah, tech's the way forward. Even in the window and door industry, it's certainly the way forward.
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, that's one side that COVID has probably been an advantage to us in making us work more efficiently. Certainly, I'm not charging all around the country, doing stuff over Zoom. It really is just as good, apart from the fact that you don't get the chance to talk face to people. You can do it like this, but maybe it's not quite the same. It's nice to actually meet people now and again, but it saves a lot of time and money by doing it over Zoom or Teams or whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I really miss the traveling though, and going seeing the customers. And in particular, I've only been to DOORCO Korea once this year, and it was back in February, just before the whole world started to lock down. And I miss that now. You can do a lot of Zoom calls, but there's nothing like the face-to-face interaction. And then there's that kind of, you go on trips and visits and you go and see customers, but I always find it interesting. It's always the kind of off the record conversations that happen, or the conversations that happen when you're more relaxed, or you might be having a beer with someone, or you might be having lunch with someone, and it's those conversations that always sometimes lead to something. And so the Zoom and stuff, it's brilliant. It's a great, it's helped massively through COVID. But I am looking forward to the time when you can get back in the car and go and see more customers, and it's easier to do and it's more accepted.
I have a nasty feeling that's going to be some time before we can do that.
Yeah, I agree. The most important thing at the moment is keeping everybody safe and the workers safe. We've taken it very seriously here. We've got very, very stringent COVID procedures in place. And we've done that from day one, and we update them regularly. Just last week, we did more changes to office space and social distancing again. So it is important. I'm hoping at some point next year, the powers that be have the cure, or we find a solution and a way that makes it easier, because it would be good to start having a bit more human interaction and face-to-face meetings and exhibitions and etc. However that happens, it occurs.
Yeah, I mean, are you as busy as everybody else appears to be around the trade?
Yes, I think everybody's extremely busy. I think this level of sales, we've never seen anything like it before. you know, all the way through COVID when we were locked down, which were really dark times. You know, I must have wrote 7 or 8 business plans about how we were going to have to downsize the business and maybe trim a bit and save a bit. And then within 2 to 3 weeks of opening back up again, the sales had come back on stream. And then you have that bit where you say, well, it's just a short-term blip. It's the catch up from being closed for 9 weeks. We're now in late October, early November. For the first time ever, DOORCO have got foresight of orders for most of November already. That never happens. We work on a 3-day, 5-day lead time, and we can see orders now right the way through November. The signals from all the customers is it's not slowing down, it's continuing. And so it's taken everybody a long time to get to grips and have the confidence to be able to bring the stock in and sit on the levels of stock and you know, employ more people to be able to do the work. It's taken quite a while for people to get that confidence. And I think we're all in the same boat. I think we've all been second guessing for a long time, but it gets to a point where you just say, no, this looks like it might be a medium term nice problem to have, and we just have to back it. And that's what we've had to do. We've had to really get our shoulder behind it and back it. And so more staff, more stock, you know, more transport, all the chain needed bringing up to speed, because the volumes are huge. And we're talking significant growth in some weeks, you know, some huge growth. So yeah, long may it continue, because I think we all need it after being closed for a period of time.
So it's actually a time of investment then, really, for you.
Yeah, huge. Yeah. We're significantly investing. 2020, end of 2019, 2020 was the R&D and development of new products that we've got coming on stream. Unfortunately, some of that was delayed because of COVID, and not because COVID got in the way, but it was the aftermath of the attention then needed to be getting the business back up and running and focused on servicing what we currently sell and what we have. And some of the focus on R&D and development of the new products kind of slipped a bit, but we got back on track. So yeah, massive investment in some new products coming for end of 2020, beginning 2021. As I've already mentioned, infrastructure within the manufacturing side of the business, we need to expand that. Our capacities are at full chat now. We're working shift work. I'm not a massive fan of shift work. I'd rather invest in more technology and equipment to allow us more productivity in the working day. And as I've already said, the IT upgrades, investment in new software, investment in new people. Yeah, it's a time for investment, because it's a bit of a turning point, you know, and you reach these points and sometimes you're going to miss the opportunity if you don't take them. And we've got an opportunity here to welcome some new customers, help our existing customers continue their expansion. So yeah, we've also got to assist them, and the only way we can is being better at what we do.
You mentioned just earlier that you were talking about 5 or 6 day lead time. Are you able to stick to that then now?
Not at the moment, no. Not at the moment, no. It's almost impossible, and there are a number of issues we face. The supply chain is fragmented. So materials that we rely on to buy in to allow us to do what we do is difficult. Our own supply chain hasn't been perfect. There's no way we could have predicted these volumes. So our stock out list is bigger than it's ever been in the last 5 years. That will correct itself before the end of 2020, but it's been challenging. People power, you know, just getting the people in and making sure with the new COVID restrictions now and social distancing, how we've had to set the operation out, you know, there are limitations. So no, we've not been able to stick that. It was 3 days for a standard door and 5 days for a painted door. And currently we're running at sort of 5 to 7 for a standard door and 10 for a painted door. So we've had to push the lead times out.
But to be fair, that's not so bad. I mean, I was in a Chinese takeaway at the weekend. There was another guy in there who was covered in silicon stripes, and I thought, I know what you are. You're a window fitter. And he started talking to a guy next to him and was saying how it's ridiculous. He can't get his windows now. It's an 8-week lead time to get his windows and everything, and how it was ruining his business. And he's booked up into the new year and he can't get his windows. And it was just interesting that, and this bloke who was with him, who was obviously someone he knew was just a homeowner, was saying, oh yeah, people can't wait that long to get their windows. Which always surprises me, because I just don't think the public usually are so worried about that lead time. It's more the trade that are worried about the lead time, isn't it?
Yeah, but the consumers are now used to, you know, Amazon and other delivery methods that kind of blow all expectation out of the water. You know, expectations been risen, you know, right across the consumer base. So now they just don't see why they have to wait for anything. And no, I get that. That's it's our challenge to kind of up our game. It started a few years ago with some of the bigger, shall we say, bigger cost-effective door companies that went out and said, if it's not there tomorrow, it's free, and all the other stuff. And it really made the industry start to raise its game. And then, you know, things like Amazon, it really makes the whole consumer experience much different. So when you say to somebody, you've got to wait 4 to 8 weeks, they just don't understand the complexities of it. And I think, to be honest, our industry's been very good at adapting to it, but never has our industry seen these kind of demands before, these kind of volumes before. You know, I don't certainly, and I'm fairly new to it. I think I've only been in the window and door industry for sort of 10 years or so, but I've never seen anything like this before. The volumes and the level of demand, it's outstripped anything I've ever seen.
I mean, can that continue once, you know, obviously furlough's coming to an end, that sort of financial help? Are we going to see a dip in demand now?
We could see a dip in demand possibly from consumers if they become cautious and they want to start to maybe save some of the money that in case there is a second spike, or, you know, furlough, the end of furlough does have a massive dramatic effect. I think you've got to take that into consideration. But it seems to be at the moment that the restriction on people going on holiday and vacations, and, you know, there's a lot of people spending a lot of time in their own homes at the moment, and once you spend time in your own home, you start to find fault with it, you know, and that needs painting, and that kitchen door's not very good, and, you know, and that patio door squeaks, and, you know, this window lets a draft in. And with all that, it seems to have driven people really looking at their own homes and going, I'm going to improve my environment. I'm going to improve the environment I'm spending quite a lot of time in. And I think we're enjoying that right now. And as you say, COVID's not going away anytime soon. Air travel and travel abroad's not going to just suddenly open the gates again all of a sudden. So it could last for a period of time, but who knows? The other thing to take into consideration is, will there be as many of us left? You know, and that could be a very real possibility. We've seen some large companies close over the last few weeks and run into financial difficulties. If there's less companies around, that means the ones that are strong and that do survive will still have extra volumes to go and get and go and chase. So it could be a hybrid, Chris. You know, we could see continued home improvements, and we could see some less of competition.
You've talked about new products. What can you tell us about them? I mean, obviously you mentioned that there's new products coming at the end of the year, beginning of next.
Yeah.
Are you able to talk about any of those new products now, or are they still on the secret list?
No, I think it's. I think quite a lot of our customers know what we've been working on in the last few months. One of the big projects has been us introducing a solid core door. So we've been working with a new supplier on developing a new skin door. So it's the same face technology, but the core of the door is a solid core. It's an engineered timber core door with the aim of offering an alternative to the current foam-filled product. The solid core product in other guises has been very popular. Most of them have some sort of PVC or plastic facing. And so we wanted to combine the two. We wanted to combine engineered technology for the core, and we wanted to combine the benefits of GRP skins. And so we've done that. and that project is finished now. It's just about getting the stock right. It's about getting, you know, all of the online ordering system done, imagery done, brochures, you know, printed. We've got a new brand name that we're working with, and we're working quite closely with a marketing company to develop it. So come early 2021, we'll roll that out, and it'll be a new product for us. We've redeveloped the fire door product. As you know, fire door sales in GRP ceased a couple of years ago, and over that period, the standards have changed from the British standards to the EN standards. So we've re-engineered the fire door, and we'll be launching the fire door in 2021. And so, yeah, we've got one or two other new products to launch in 2021 that are still under wraps at the minute. But it's going to be a big year for us. It's going to be a massive year for us in terms of newness. We'd like to think we'll be able to show them at the Fit Show if it goes ahead.
With the solid core door, is that a 44mm slab?
Yes, yeah, 44mm door. From the outside, from the appearance of the door, you'll not notice much difference. It'll be a GRP skin. It'll be painted in any colour you like. But it's the perception that the solid core door offers a slight more upgrade, and that's what the consumers, I think, have been sold in the past. They've been informed and advised and sold that it's an upgraded product. It's going to be the same skin. It's just on the solid core, so the chances of you cutting through this door is slim to none. It's a very, very well constructed product. And so we're not making the door in Korea with DOORCO Korea. We've found a new partner who's a specialist in timber that will allow us to be able to produce this door to a very high quality. Our ambition is to have it as an alternative product, yeah. But we've been quite smart with it. We've been quite cute with it, with what we've done. So there's a few USPs on the door that makes it stand out, that are really going to have a lot of benefits to the customers.
Can you talk about those USPs?
We've done a one size door. So if you're a customer that buys warehouse stock and you buy just blanks, you don't have to buy 3 sizes. You can buy just one. I think that's quite smart. Focus really hard on keeping this door as straight as possible, and we'll be giving a warranty on its thermal movement value.
What about, can we just talk a bit about Monza and Links? Because I heard that those were 2 products that have really come to their fore recently. Any particular reason for that?
Since we came out of lockdown, the product that we sell has changed. The demand for the product has changed. So ever since I opened the business, the 6.4 combi door has been a number 1, number 2, number 3 selling door. It's been in the top 3 for forever. We came out of lockdown, and in the first few weeks, the Monza sales were very high, and that's now continued to the point where the top 5 bestsellers have completely changed. They've been thrown on the head, and it continues. And part of the problem of some of the stockouts we've experienced is we've never seen sales like that before in some of the products. So the Monza Contemporary door now is the number 1 and number 2 best-selling door, quite quickly followed by the Farmhouse door. We've got theory on it, Chris, but we're guessing. We've got no idea why this change has happened during the lockdown. One theory is that if they were looking to upgrade their homes, maybe they gave it a bit more time than they would normally do, and if they've come in from work and they only have an hour or so afterwards, maybe that they've had that time to look and research, and they've found that actually there's more out there than just a 2-panel 2-light. But again, it is purely theory. We've got no idea why that product mix has changed. But the rise in sales on the Monza door and the cassette systems that go with it and the glass that suits those doors is on another level. And I think that's why the supply chain is really struggling to keep up.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that's anything to do with security? Because, I mean, you're talking about the 4mm skin, aren't you, with Monza?
Four mil skins on every door, Chris. It's on every door in the range.
Oh, is it now? Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's in every door in the range. It's our method of security. And so that's been in place for many, many years across the range. No, it's got to be the look and the appeal. It's a very contemporary looking door. It's unique to DOORCO. And so we can't explain why all of a sudden, because we've had the door for 4 years now, nearly 5 years. And it is, don't get me wrong, it's always been in the top 5 bestsellers, but it's never been #1 and it's never held the #1 spot consistently. And I'm talking like it's been #1 now since June, late June, early July, and it continues to be in the #1 slot. So it's fascinating. You know, these things always throw up different dynamics, and this is one of them.
Yeah, it makes it difficult when you start talking about manufacture and bringing in the supplies. I mean, what products do you make? I mean, presumably you're putting a lot of attention on the Monza product and bringing that in from Korea then. At
the moment, we're putting a lot of attention on all the doors. You can't buy enough of them at the minute, Chris. I mean, you could have a bottomless pit and you still couldn't buy enough. And it really is. I mean, it's exciting and it's fantastic that we've got this demand, but yeah, it's taking some getting used to. You know, it's like living in a new skin. The amount of doors we are selling on a daily basis is mind blowing, and don't get me wrong, it's fantastic, and we all need it after being locked down. And I know the PVC guys are in the same position. You know, you just can't get enough white PVC at the minute, and who would have thought that?
You're going to go to FIT next year if it's around. Let's hope it is. I mean, what's your view of these virtual shows?
As I said, I'm a bit of a technophobe, so I haven't done much research on them, but they're very clever people in our business. Quite like the look of them. It's just a shame that this year all our attention's been on providing the service and the goods to the customers, and it's taking up everybody's time. But I think when we do buy ourselves some more time, and we've expanded a little bit and we've got ourselves back on track, I think they are. I think they have a place. I think they're going to probably be something to look into and something to focus on. But as I mentioned before, the reason for FIT, I think we're all desperate for a bit of interaction. I think we're all desperate to see some familiar faces and some friendly faces. If FIT can happen in any way, shape or form, the combination of being able to speak to people directly again, and the fact that we've got lots of new products to launch and let people see, it's one place that everyone can come and we can launch all of the products and see all the products all in one place.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. So has this changed the way you've thought about marketing and using technology more for marketing than the old methods of people going off around the country in their cars and visiting people?
When we first locked down, I think the first thing we reached for was the marketing companies that support us. It was a really horrible time. I never thought I'd be in a place where we had to close the factory. And in fact, I couldn't. We got to about 2 or 3 hours before we were supposed to shut on the last day, and I had to go home. I just couldn't face it. I was really, really quite upset about having to shut the factory, and it was the great unknown. And I think I took the next day to kind of gather my thoughts and thought, well, we're going to have to come out of this somehow. So how can we start building momentum right now? And it was through marketing. Was my initial thought, and we're not in the past. We haven't been very forward thinking, but I thought, well, how can we build some momentum from when we get back? And we engaged with Bruja and other people, and Ben's got a marketing background, and we decided that maybe some social media was going to help generate some interest, and it could be another reason why Monza suddenly became a little bit more relevant, because we promoted a lot of the unique door styles you can get from DOORCO, and we were very clever with it. And Bruja worked with us all the way through lockdown to generate some interest when we came back towards the end of lockdown. And then when we did come back, we had huge amounts of consumer contact, emails, how can I get this product? and we just pass those contacts on to our customers. And it's really worked, because it still continues now today. We get a lot of interest from consumers, and we get a lot of direct consumer emails now through the info box, and we pass them down to our customers and say, look, we've got a consumer interest, can you take it up? And of course, a lot of the customers when we first came up were like, yeah, this is amazing, great, it's new leads. And now they're like, holy no, pass it to someone else. And it's like, no, they're just taking a bit longer to get round to it. But when we came back, it was fantastic to have some new contact consumers, which we've never done before, to be able to pass down the chain. So yeah, that was a real eye opener. And I think it's something now that we look to do for the long term, to help our customers get volume. If our customers can get a sale from that, we get the blank sale, we get the door sale, and maybe the glass and the glazing cassette, and it just opens up that new customer contact for us, which has been brilliant.
Yeah, I suppose it's made us all apply our minds a bit to the future and how we work, hasn't it? This whole COVID thing, in so many different ways. I mean, it's interesting you talking about marketing there. As you say, you were never the most forefront when it came to marketing, but you seem to have changed radically, really. I mean, most companies, when things go bad, they cut off marketing, don't they? Get rid of the staff, cut the budgets and all the rest of it. You've done pretty much the opposite to that.
Yeah, but it's the team that you build and you put into place, and you can't bring these people in and then ignore what they've got to say or their ideas. And the business has evolved massively since we've brought in the people that we've brought in. And one of the best things about DOORCO at the moment is the team that we've built and the people we've attracted to the business. We've got some very heavy hitters, industry people in the business that really know what they're doing. And I'd be stupid to not listen, because I don't know it all at all. You've got to surround yourself with people that complement what you're weak at. If I'm weak at marketing, but then I bring people in that are strong at it and they're giving us their thoughts on it, you've got to listen. And that's, one of the big learning curves is the team's much bigger than it was 4 or 5 years ago. It isn't me now, it's a much bigger business, and there are a lot of skilled people in it. And so, they're leading the way, and I just sort of nod in the background and go, yeah, marketing's great, fantastic, great idea. And then again, we've also got some good partners who have been strong and fought their corner, and if they believe it's the right thing to do for the business as advisors to the business, they've been really quite vocal about it. So again, you've got to listen. And yeah, it's working. At the moment, it's really, really working. So I'm really pleased to see it is working, because a lot of people have put a lot of commitment and time and energy into it.
Well, we look forward to seeing your new products coming out in 2021. Certainly hope to see you at FIT, and wish you and everyone at DOORCO well. Thanks, Dan, very much for your time.
Brilliant, Chris. Thanks very much, as always. Hope to see you soon, and I will send you the Harrods hamper. You've not been able to have the factory tour.
Thanks, Dan.
Take care.